So I just realized something. Everyone in eternity experiences the same amount of heaven and hell. If you experience more heaven on earth, then you'll experience more hell in eternity. And if you experience more hell on earth, you'll experience more heaven in eternity. That's the general rule. Of course, I'm not saying that your life can't be good and as a Christian, but I'm saying that was Jesus' life good? No, it was literally the worst life and worst death possible. But that's why he's the highest in heaven. And the Bible says countlessly about how the rich people will have fattened themselves at the day of slaughter. Just disgusting imagery about rich people and how much they enjoy this life. And I was thinking about it, and I think yesterday I was just thinking about how in life there's good and there's bad. There's pain and suffering and there's good moments in your life. And what I realized was that at the end of the day, everyone gets the same amount of good and evil in their life. But for some people, they have really evil moments, but then really high moments. Like some people who are I think most successful people, however, in whatever way you want to describe successful, they go through really low moments where they're just trying to make it, and then they make it, and then they go really high. But then that levels out to average. But then other people, their whole life is just average. Their whole life is just stable. They graduate university, they go to a 9-to-5 job, they get a family, they just live according to society's rules, and they get the same amount of good and evil because it's just a stable line. Whereas other people's is like a roller coaster. But at the end of the day, if you integrate it, it's all zero. A bit of math. And I was thinking about this whole heaven and hell thing, and I realized that on earth, because on earth there's time. On earth, earth exists within the dimensions of time. So that's why you need to use time to your advantage to go through as much hell as possible, because then after you die, your spirit body, your spirit is not in the boundaries of time anymore, or in another dimension. But that means whatever happens there will last forever. But forever as in not in the sense of time, forever in the sense that there's no such thing as time. I'm not crazy, guys. I'm just thinking about life a lot. Let me know what you guys think. God bless. Now, I do want to clarify something about what I said, about how everyone experiences the same level of happiness and pain and joy in life. And that's not entirely true, because some people, I don't know, back when slavery was a thing, I guess it in some respects it still is a thing. But for example, in America, when black people were slaves, some people would live their whole life in pain and suffering. But that's why so many black people, I don't want to be stereotypical here, but that's why they would sing songs songs about how they would go to heaven and go to their home after they die. I genuinely believe that Jesus comes to the people who are in the most pain, and he makes himself known to those people. Blues and jazz and just songs about how they would go to heaven. Oh, when the saints come marching in, I wanna be in that number. Oh, when the saints come marching in. And then there was one about seeing Heaven's Gate or something. I can't remember. But the point is, I think that in the modern day, no, forget that. I think if you obey the natural laws in a good conscience and you live under the will of God, then he'll give you a return on your suffering. In the Bible it says, Jesus says, anyone who leaves fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, whatever, for me, will not only receive 100-fold in this life, but also in the life to come. So I think that if you're living under God, and if you're really if you're pure and you're living your life in the most righteous way you know how to, then I genuinely believe that if you experience some pain, then you'll also experience some blessings. But the blessings will outweigh the pain in terms of how good the blessing is compared to how bad the pain is. I just wanted to clarify that, because obviously some people have terrible lives, but then I genuinely believe that God repays them, and God is just, and all humans are equal in God's eyes. And the other thing I was thinking about is, I said that it's this balance between pain and blessing, because on the one hand the Bible says thank you to Jesus, who in his poverty, because he was poor, we could become rich, or something like that. But then there's this other thing where Jesus says you have to deny your cross, deny yourself daily, take up your cross and follow me. And so many places in the Bible, in the New Testament, it's like, rejoice when you suffer for Jesus. If you're suffering with Jesus, rejoice, or something, because you'll also partake in the glory when Jesus comes. So it's just this balance of pain and joy in this life as a Christian, because as a Christian we're going to have to experience pain in order to understand Jesus, and hence be able to partake in the blessings to come after we die and when Jesus comes back. But at the same time, we will also be blessed in this life because Jesus died for us. So in his poverty, we can become spiritually, emotionally, physically rich. Okay, my mom's calling. But it's just this balance, and it's really interesting. But yeah, God bless.